I just spent 100 days in Minecraft building one of the largest harbors I've ever seen in my life. Stay tuned to see how I build this whole thing. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Okay guys, started on the frame. Ideally going for a circle. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle, but this is going to be the inner circle I'm planning. Because eventually I want to build a center island here, which is like a repair area, and then obviously there's going to be boats all around here. I'm going to be building lots of boats, and then the normal harbor, which will be over here, all along here, and who knows, maybe I could expand it more over there. Alrighty, finished the circle. So that was the inner one I did, and here's the outer one. Basically along these, this is going to be the outside wall, and there's going to be a walkway with pillars holding up the building. I'm going to build out some docks here. Excuse me. And yeah, I'm gonna build it higher. Probably make this at least, let's say like, this is good. Maybe one higher. But yeah, I've just been getting harassed like crazy by sharks and piranhas, which I have in the horror add-on. It's absolutely annoying. And there you can see 1, 2, 3 sharks. No piranhas out right now. I killed a bunch right before I started recording. But yes, I'm excited to see how this harbor turns out. Okay, so I finished the circle. Here's what it looks like. Pretty cool. I mean, close enough to a circle. I do have a hard time building circles, but it doesn't need to be a perfect circle. But I'm not sure if I want to work on the walls next or the floor. I might work on the floor. Yeah. And then make the outside walls. So yeah, let's get started on that. Alrighty, completed the floors. Right now I'm working on the walls. This is taking a ungodly amounts of quartz. It's taking many Minecraft days to grab all this stuff. But here's what the floors look like. I got these amethyst things spaced out perfectly. This is actually coming out really good. But anyways, I'm gonna leave it open here because I'm gonna eventually expand the wall to come over here, and there's gonna be a gate here, which is strictly for military. So maybe I might make this like this area like a miniature military district and build the siege works engine workshop over here. And then so I'm still planning on what I'm gonna do for the docks. But yeah, I'm excited to see what goes on next, so stay tuned. We have finished the flooring inside the harbor. So this is what it's gonna look like. You know, looking at it now, I kind of wish I made the harbor a little bit bigger, just because with the boats sticking out, I don't know how much space there's going to be for the center island, right? Which is supposed to be like a dry dock repair area. But I think next I'm going to work on the outside, making pillars, as well as decorating it, adding some more detail. So yeah, I'm going to be adding pillars here. Yes. Pillars here. And then also I want to make the inside pillars and then put railings here, and then on the edge of these I'm gonna need to add some sort of like maybe like a half pillar here. So yeah, let's get into it. Here is the design I have so far. That's what it looks like on the inside. And then on the outside, I think it helps a lot with adding detail to these outside walls. And then eventually I need to, with the andesite blocks, I need to like go all the way down to the ocean, right? Because right now it's kind of floating in the water. But yeah, this is what the detail I got going on the outside, so let me know what you guys think about that. Alrighty, I have finished all the outer pillars, so this is what it's going to look like. Now I'm going to have to start working on the inner pillars. So my inner pillars are just going to be at the, basically the edge of each one of the docks. So those will be the inner pillars. And then eventually I'm going to build the roof. Not exactly sure how I'm going to do the roof, but I might have to raise all this wall up, just maybe like a couple blocks higher. Right now it's at 15. But this is what it looks like coming into the harbor. And then obviously there's going to be a roof. Come through this way, and then the boats park. And if I have space, I'm going to build something in the middle, like maybe a small island, so it could be for repairs. But yeah, so now I'm just going to work on the inside pillars. Also, I don't like the floating blocks, so I might place blocks all the way down to the seafloor, but we'll see about that. We are currently working on the roof. I just logged in. Gonna finish the roof today. That's the plan. got some fairies coming around. She was a fairy, yeah. But then we're gonna make the railings over here in the harbor. So yeah, I'm excited to do that. And I don't think I'll finish it in this video, but basically I need to extend this wall, detail it, and then over here there's gonna be a gate. So there's access over here. That's a goblin. Let's shoot his. How many times to load the boat? 1, 2. Okay. Little like lag spike. Welcome to Bug Rock. But yeah, the boats are gonna go here. The only thing I'm not too happy with is I feel like the roof is kind of short for the boats. So I don't know. Maybe my boats aren't gonna have sails. They're gonna have rowers instead. But yeah. Let's let you guys know how this turns out. Here's how the roof looks so far. Only made a couple sections. But yes, I'm excited to see how this turns out. We are back. Right now I've been working on the roof for the last couple days. I think it's coming out pretty decently. It's a little bit more difficult doing these like corner pieces, just because not everything lines up properly, but I'm making it work. So I think the roof looks pretty good. And then eventually after the roof, I'm probably gonna add like just like a diorite fence or wall, and then put like a lantern or something on there. And then underneath, what I'm gonna do is maybe every so often I'm gonna add basically one of these little chandelier lights, just so we can get some more light in here, because at nighttime it's kind of dark. And then after that I want to add railings to these pieces, but then I also want to like build all the way down to the ground, because I don't like how you can kind of just swim underneath it. But yeah guys, that's what the harbor looks like so far. I'm pretty excited. I want to finish this and then start working on like a couple boats in here. And this is the military harbor, so this is only gonna have military boats for White Harbor. But yes, very excited to see how this turns out. Okay guys, finally finished the roof here and putting on all the lights. Here's what it looks like from the top. Let's go ahead and get a bird's eye view of this. Very, very interesting. Let's get an angle over here. Yes, this is what the roof looks like. Next I'm going to be adding chandeliers. I'm probably not going to do anything crazy. Probably just put like very basic streamlight lights here, just to add a little bit more color to the roof, especially at nighttime. It's so dark in here. But next I'm going to be adding railings, and then I want to build some boats, and that should probably finish this build. I don't know, I don't think there's enough space in the center to make any sort of dry dock, which was originally the plan. I would have had to make this place a lot bigger, or we'll see, maybe I could fit it, but it depends how big the boats are. But I'm planning, these little ones are for bigger boats, and this is only a military harbor. So yeah guys, stay tuned. Let's get a little flyby. 10 more boat going into the harbor. That's what it looks like. Yes, there's the lamp of Arda. Currently building the railings. This is what it's going to look like. Still need to add some sort of fence gates, but right now I'm just adding some detail along these edges. This is kind of what it looks like, and then eventually I'm gonna add a couple wooden fences, spruce, and then probably add a vine for some sort of decoration, or maybe a trapdoor. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, it's coming together. Once I'm done with that, I'm just gonna add like little chandeliers just along the white lines, just for a little bit more color at nighttime. Probably nothing crazy. I'm just gonna do some shroom light with some crystals. Once that's done, I can start working on the boat. I want to build a couple boats. This video is taking a very long time, or this build's taking a long time to build, but this is what it looks like so far. Coming through here. All the boats are gonna be in here. So yeah guys. This goblin's harassing a fairy. She was a fairy. Okay, we're gonna be starting on the chandeliers. So basically, I'm not gonna put too many, but I'm thinking I'm just gonna put like every so often, basically right where this is. So let's see how that's gonna look. Maybe not this one. Maybe I'm not gonna put that many. I'm just gonna put one basically where it lines up with the white. So one input delay later, maybe we might get upstairs. Okay. and it doesn't connect. So I might need to go get some quartz slabs. I'm just gonna do something very simple like this. Or you know what? Maybe I can leave them floating. See how this looks. Yeah, I think it's fine. It's not too big of a deal. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna do that all the way around, and then all we gotta do is build a couple boats, and this build is finally complete. Well, for now, because eventually I have to connect it here to the city. That's why I left it open. Yes.
Your route is clear.
Yes. We have just completed the first boat in the White Harbor Navy. So this is what it looks like. Actually, it's not complete. I need to, I just fell. We need to add the ram, because all these ships are based off trimeres from Carthage in Greece. So I still need to add the ram to this. But this is basically the design, and if you're wondering why this looks all crooked, I need to add some more decoration here, but basically we're gonna have forward-leaning sails. This is just like a small battleship, and then these are like the rows, but since we're in dock right now, they're not fully extended. And I'm thinking about adding some soldiers on here, but we'll see about that. And then going here, this is what the inside of the ship looks like. Down here is where the rowers sit. So like you would sit here and row. Yeah, guys, let me know what you think of this boat. The designs are going to improve because it's a decent design, I think. We're using pale oak and... Okay, guys, we just finished with the second boat. I think I already showed the first boat, but here's the first one. So this one is going to be the first generation scouting vessel for the White Harbor Navy. This is the first gen boat. Over here, you can see that the rows are actually pulled inside, so that way, you know, it could fit into the docks. But this is what this boat looks like. It's pretty decent. So the color banners for here are going to be white and black. And then also these ships also have slanted mast for design purposes, but also because the roof is kind of short. So, and this is what the inside looks like. This is where the rower is going to sit. So that's this boat. Let's go look at the other boat. This is going to be a heavy cruiser. One thing I do regret about this whole build is it is kind of small. The roof needs to be taller, and this whole circle thing needs to be bigger so I can fit bigger ships, because this ship's not even that big, but it's almost filling up the entire space. So the next boat I'm going to build is another capital ship, and that's going to go over there. And then I might make one more capital ship there, and then maybe add one small one there, and then one small one here. That way, or maybe I'll just fill up the whole harbor, I don't know. But yeah, this is what this ship looks like. It has 2 masts, right? And then in here, this is where the rowers sit. And now, right now they're empty, but eventually I do want to add like villagers into here, like the Marines, right? Because this is the military harbor, and then eventually, here, let's go over here. The normal harbor for like merchant ships are just going to be like basically along the wall, and then that's kind of like the main gate. But yeah, guys, so I'm excited to start working on another ship here. I'm not the best at building ships, but I think it looks all right. Okay, guys, we are starting on another capital ship. I want it to be bigger than this one. So let's get started. We got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. See, these boats are getting way too big. So right now we're at 15. Oh. So yeah, guys, I'll let you see the finished product after here. I'm hoping this boat comes out really big. Okay, so here's how that boat turned out. This one is a thicker boy. This is what it looks like from down here. And right now, the King of Rithian and I have been building this little platform so you could access the boat, because we built the harbor way too small. And these boats are kind of tall. But as you can see here, we got these kind of like double-decker sails. I think the sails look really nice. Goes with the White Harbor design. Here's what the side of the boat looks like. And then right now, this, since it's in port, it doesn't have room for the oars. So there's that one. Here's what the ram looks like. Let's go ahead and look in the inside. This is what the downstairs looks like. So basically, this is where the rowers would sit. Right here, and they'd be row. So we might do that with our prisoners of war. Or it could be like a low-paying job. But we need a high-class, very cohesive unit of rowers to power these ships. Plus, there's going to be Marines on top, you know, with swords and bows and arrows. And then I also built this boat over here. That's what it looks like. Has a very beefy ram. That's what the side of it looks like. I think this one turned out really nice. All I got to do for this one is add some fences for the rows, and then this one's done. I think the sails came out really good. Okay guys, that's going to conclude my building the Grand Harbor of White Harbor. I built 4 ships. I'm going to build 2 more ships off camera, but now I'm just going to give you a full tour. So here's what it looks like on the outside. Come over here, I'm getting a phone call. Continuing where I left off, this is what the inside looks like. As you can see, we have lots of space for adding more boats. Eventually I'm going to build some extra boats. And then this gate here is going to connect to the harbor gate, which is basically the wall that leads into the city. This is only for military use. As you can see here, I added some chandeliers. But yeah, guys, here are some of the boats. Let me know what you guys think of these boats. I think they came out decently, but definitely room for improvement here. I wanted them to be big enough to add catapults and stuff on it, but it just isn't big enough. But yeah, guys, that's basically the harbor here. Let me know what you think of this build. Rate it 1 out of 10. Let me know what you guys think. Any new ideas? And I will see you guys next time.